This is Tom Atkins. You're thrilling me. You are now listening to PVD Horror.
All right. So first film we got here is one that I feel like is going to be a heated debate. Brandon, I'm going to ask you a really simple question. You going to be able to answer me?
Yep.
Halloween Kills, good movie?
It's a decent movie. I wouldn't say it's great. Because let's be real. I talked about it last time about the 2018 film. It didn't have a replay value to it, but I felt as though that the 2018 film was better than this one. It seemed like it was more complete. Do you want to go into a full thing about this now? Do you want me to go into my whole take on it?
Sure, that's what we're here for.
All right. I felt it started off strong with the flashbacks and the kills were dope. Then I felt that it tried to do too much. It was all over the place and it felt like it was all over the place and it didn't have much of a story. Like, you know what I mean? The part with the inmate lasted like too long. It was just like going around and it was just like, we're going to sit there. evil dies tonight. I'm like, okay, cool. But like chasing the wrong dude, chasing this guy, this little fat guy. It's like, all right, this is not Michael Myers. And then for them to try to make it seem like Michael was like a monster when that whole thing happened.
Oh, wait. Spoiler alert. Right? Kind of.
This whole thing is a spoiler alert. I'm sorry because Josh didn't even watch this.
Yeah, so we'll just say spoiler alert, so we can say whatever we want.
Hold on, I'll do it over. We'll do this.
No, don't do it over. Let's just go. That was good. Let's just say spoiler alert, just so we can say whatever we want to say here.
All right. Well, Josh still hasn't even seen it, but I don't think he's gonna watch it anyway.
I don't think so. He didn't see 2018.
Yeah, so like I said, I feel as though that the 2018 film was more complete than this. I think the kills kind of like saved this film to me in a certain way, and the flashbacks too, like how it just added on. But overall, I'm not a big fan of it, you know. And you watched it in the theaters though, right?
Yes, I did. And you know what? To be honest with you, I feel like that had a big impact on my experience.
Yeah. Because that's the same thing, because I watched it on Peacock, but I also watched it on like the big screen outside. Yeah. You know what I mean? It had like the sound and everything set up. And to me, I was just sitting there waiting, like, okay, when's this movie gonna get good? And then so it's like I've heard from a lot of people that really like this film, that really like it, have watched it in the theaters. So
I can totally see why that would be the case. I found in the theater, I found it to be sort of in like some moments I was like, oh, this is actually kind of intense. There's a scene in particular where they're like, there's like a search crew going around and they're at the playground, and then like the girl like runs away and like she's like hiding. The girl, she's an older woman, but I found that to be like kind of an intense scene. In the moment I left there and I was like, oh, that was awesome. The more like I stepped away from it, I was like started to think about things and I was like, I don't know if I like that aspect of it or this aspect. The storyline, it's like I feel like nowadays this is what was different from like older movies, is we didn't throw in so many stories. Like the whole, like you were saying, the inmate part could have been all cut out. I appreciate the fact of like what they were trying to show with like how like the town turns into a bunch of monsters. Like Michael's turned them all into monsters now, and they're like trying to get vengeance, and but like that scene was just too long for me. Like it definitely, and it was like, are you really trying to give us sympathy for an inmate that like he looked like he would have been in like that the Tales from the Crypt one where the like delusional Santa Claus comes and he's like with an axe and he's going after the woman in the house. It looked like that guy. Like
dude,
that
what was it? Wayne from Death Drop Gorgeous. He was like, yeah, you like the fucking Danny DeVito when he played the Penguin in Batman.
Yeah, that whole scene was so needless. Like, did
Yeah.
not need to be there. One thing with like the kills, I feel like they were kind of like the kill scenes were cool. Like the
Yeah.
violence was awesome. I
Mhm.
felt like the kills, like though there wasn't like a reason for them. And I
Yeah.
think you kind of alluded to this too, but for me, it was like it's just happening one after another, let
Mhm.
more so than it's like, oh, I see why this person, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Some actually I started to even question, like, are we just seeing too much and we're like desensitized to it now? And like, was it more effective when things were like off the screen sometimes? I don't know. I enjoyed it though. I'm not gonna pretend I didn't, because I really did walk away there saying like, oh, this is I'm excited to see the next one. I didn't like the very end. I will say that it did
No.
not change. The very last scene, did not care for it. I feel like they're talking about not having an explanation, and then they give an explanation about who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. And so I try to piece everything together. I have seen people put down reviews and how they feel about this film. And I see everybody saying, oh, this movie's so great. It's so great. I love it. But they shit on Rob Zombie's remake of giving a backstory to him. You know what I mean? And then like
Right.
this is kind of like doing the same thing a little bit, you know?
Giving a story, yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like you gotta pick and choose. But like anybody can say anything. I don't care. To this day, I'll still say that Rob Zombie's two films are better than these two films.
Yeah.
So
all right.
There's a lot of heat on that because there's a lot of fucking people that just feel a certain way. I've seen people that have ranked kills almost in their top 5.
Brandon, tomorrow I'm going to put up Unpopular Opinion. Halloween 1 and 2 are good films, and we'll see what people have to say. Okay.
No, look, Halloween 2 is not great. I'm not saying that movie is great, but I'm saying it is what it is. But I kind of enjoyed it more than this last one. Yeah. Than Kills. But I don't know what they're trying to do, like with a big setup with like Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
Like, the focus was just everywhere. It was just like it will go to the hospital. It's on Jamie Lee Curtis, and then it's on her daughter, and it's on the granddaughter. It was just all over the place, and it's back to the survivors from before. And it was just too much. It was too much for me, and it was like you said, it's like an overload. And so, I think that's what the issue was with this movie. If they would have just kind of kept it simple, like okay, fine, the survivors. These are the people. We're gonna focus on the survivors. Actually, going after real Michael Myers. Then it would have been something, you know what I mean? And then him going after them because, like, seriously, like I was telling you, like to the point where it was like, all right, fine. Everybody that lived in Haddonfield was at the fucking hospital.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, Michael Myers is fucking walking around, and he went back to the house, and he's dealing with those two guys there. Like, even the story about the guys that lived in the house was too much. It was like, oh, Big John, Little John, oh, what's going on? You know what I mean? It was just like, big knife, you got the little knife. It was like comedy that didn't need to be put into it because it wasn't even really funny.
Yeah.
And then
that I didn't find anything about those two characters really funny.
No. You know who lived
like,
in his house.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck does this have to do with anything, you know? And then to that point where the other survivor, if he didn't sit there with the granddaughter and say, hey, Michael Myers is going home tonight. If they didn't go to that fucking house, Michael Myers would have still been in that fucking closet hiding, like waiting for somebody. Where's everybody at? Because everybody was at the fucking hospital.
Brandon, that is the best text I've ever gotten in my life. He's like, oh, peekaboo, peekaboo. Like,
dude, he's in a fucking closet hiding and shit.
He fucking hides in every movie. I can't. So I catch a lot of heat because I don't like Michael Myers. I don't really like fucking Halloween. I don't like Halloween 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not a big fan. And that is the main reason every Halloween I'm gonna hide in the closet. What the fuck for? You're a killer. You're supposed to go out and kill people. Like, that's what he does. Oh, I go out and kill people. I'm a machine, but I'm gonna hide in the closet. One time he was up in the fucking rafters. Remember that shit? It looks cool when he comes down. But like, why not just go out and be like, oh, I'm here, motherfucker. Done. Like, oh, I'm gonna hide in the rafter. Here, peekaboo, I see you. I'm up here. Like, I heard your text. I could fucking hear it in my head. I'm hiding on you. Like, I always pick John Cena. You can't see me.
Fucking guy.
I can't stand it. People love Michael Myers. And They love every single as long as it says Halloween,
Yeah.
even if it has Jamie Lee Curtis, H2O. Remember, I love it. Oh, it's so good. And then what? 2018, H2O Part 2. It's so good. Here's another one, H2O Part 3. It's so good. Like, get the
No,
fuck out.
40 years later. And
Yeah.
that was one thing too. It pissed me off. It was just like 40 years ago, Michael Myers. And they probably said that shit probably like 100 times. 40 years ago, this happened. I'm like, I don't
You
know.
know what's gonna happen? Jamie Lee Curtis gonna be like 97, and she's gonna make a Halloween movie. H2O number 7.
I don't know, man.
82 years ago, Michael Myers. Like, fuck off, man.
And and that's the thing. It's like I don't want to really shit on this film because like I really wanted to go into this film and really like it. So I'm not a hater. I'm not sitting there saying that like I didn't go into this film and it was just like saying, you know what, I'm gonna hate this fucking film. Like we talked about it on the last episode. We seen the trailer and I was like, oh man, this is crazy. They're bringing everybody back together and kind of doing this shit. It's gonna be sick. So I love that idea and I was like, wow, it's probably gonna be better than the 2018 one because I wasn't really a big fan of that.
Yeah, it wasn't I think I said it in the last podcast. My hopes were not high. And chances are when I watch it, I'm just gonna be like, this is not good.
Yeah. So if you guys check it out, if you haven't seen it.